All right, now this is number 7, part 7 of 2 Chronicles, and this is where it is all cleaned up and I'm revealing the hidden format of Chronicles. So let's do this, and you can see them how they are here. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you that each one of these sections goes someplace else. Okay, the story is not in correct order, nor did I try to place it in the correct order. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as the code that when I start assembling them together like a jigsaw puzzle, this is what's going to be the way to come back and check the text, because I don't have the word chronicle in front here. Over here, it would be the book to go search, or the PDF that I'm using here to go back and search. Also, what you'll notice is that I put in the original Hebrew word here, and this would they would have used the word God, and I'm using the word his name, YV. This would have been a title. It started out as God. This is the name, or this is the Hebrew word, and then I've changed it. So this is the video that will show you all the Hebrew names for a creator that were used in the text. Whether it's his title or his name was what I changed to it. And if you can screenshot every once in a while, you'll see how these are grouped together, or in 2 or 3 months, you'll find the PDF below and look at it that way. But you can see that the text really does look good when it's cleaned up. The gray words are my editing, that the text needs to at least say some of this stuff. Um, Now, I'm pretty sure that his house is done when it comes through here, and all these numbers are um, assembled together. There is no roofing on the house. Even though that we know that the walls and the roof like the tent for meeting. And for those that are new here that don't know what I'm talking about, there is this image here, which if I change this word right here in Exodus 26, verse 26, and make it arches instead of bars, this is what these pieces add up together, these words here. Now, the thing here is we know it is a hip roof, okay? But the problem is that when we look at the text and see it as overall, there is nothing on the top. So what we look at and say that what else can be up there, we have to understand that the tent for meeting was made of goat hide, the roofing, and that was those are white. So the thing here is they most likely made granite small plates for his house as well. What size they are, don't know. Don't know how else the hip roof was made to hold all that, but the object is that that had to be done pretty much like what we know as a slate roof today, how they're stacked at the bottom first, then overlap so the water runs out off. Now, did they use a pitch or anything to seal it? I don't know. The thing here is there is no text for the roof. So, um, just for food for thought, what's going on with his house. Um, as you know, I said these are the words that are highlighted in whatever color I made them, fuchsia here, I think. These were the added words by the New American Standard in 1977. So that's that code being brought forward in the text to say that I didn't add these, they added these. Um, and I needed to use them as well. Um, let's see, I don't think there's much to mention besides just looking at the beauty of the first writer's hidden formats. When you see them and read them, I hope you are jumping up and down for gladness that it has happened. Because now it'll be very plain to see and understand, um, and give a visual to a lot of people that didn't have the visual before of example. Here's a real good example. In the description box below, I'm revealing the where heaven is located. So when Solomon is finishing talking to our Creator in front of everybody, and we know where he is standing when he's doing this because he's at the gate, okay, which to the courtyard, and we know that uh, the word for the gate opening was southeast, but we know that I can get rid of the east and put in south. Now, what also to prove that it was south, in the tent for meeting when it was built, to enter into his meeting room with him, uh, that cloth draping that was there, entrance was to the south. Okay, so the south. Now he's standing here and he's petitioning our Creator. Um, anyways, the way he was doing it in the text that's shown, he had his arms spread wide open. So this is one reason why Christians pray with their hands wide open and on their knees. He was on his knees before pretty much all the important people for Israel that could make it to the house when it was done and presented there. That the king has the right to put an offering on the large altar, and the high priest has to work on the high or on the largest altar. There's 13 altars, and this one is a little larger than the rest, and that is for uh, whatever is needed for um, a sin offering because the whole nation of Israel is sinning, and or a peace offering for the say if they're going to go to war, they were going to offer him a peace offering. Well, he's offering his peace offering here, and um, it is going to go up. The fire comes down from heaven. Okay. Uh, Maybe I should have these words here highlighted. Well, I guess it's not complete yet, but the object is that the heaven is above the North Star. So in broad daylight, the heaven opens up, our heaven, which is the third heaven. The second heaven is the stars, where this motion of the stars makes a mountain. And that is in the description below. It's Psalms 48, verse 2. And only in the New American Standard does it say the far north. The far north is the North Star, the one that creates the mountain. From above there is where heaven is located. So now you can see that the fire comes down from heaven and consumes all of what I've been saying. And also, the other stories I was talking about when they made it out of the house out of granite, white granite from Hebron, and the floor and the walls would have been made out of limestone from Shechem. Everything would have been white. So you now have a visual of this, what's going on right here in your head, that you would not have had without a lot of cleaning up and a lot of knowledge put into the text, and me be able to explain what's going on here with just that little verse right here. And there's all kinds of reasons why I could talk about the peace offering for a while. Um, but the object is there's a lot within each one of these small little paragraphs. Um, to understand, just like the word 8 days, why it's here, you have to go back to Exodus when they're in the Sinai, why that rule or that law was given to the people. It is a statute, it is not a law for the Passover. There's a difference between statutes, commandments, and then there's the laws. Um, to live by. Um, Here I'm leaving myself a note that it's not the Queen of Sheba, but the Sheban, and this is my editing of the text to make sure that where did she come from? Whoops, let me see here. I gotta switch that, move this down here, get out this group of images, and tell you that, okay, here are the locations in another book of these major words here. These are um, what is known as the trading route on the two seas. It says the text says seas, and they interpreted this as a sea and this as a sea. Okay, and these were trading, and the description that uh, this queen is bringing has to be close to India because in the verses here, it was listed as spices that they had not seen before. So I'm reading, yeah, we had never seen before, or precious stones we had never seen before. Amount of spices and precious stones. So both of these they had not seen before. So this is why it's located there. It'd be the quickest trade route, and it would have been the most common area to have all these. And she being the queen of that area, that she would be able to have access to bring great amounts with her. Um, let's see. I shouldn't be scanning. I need to do this. Still, these lines here are me not putting in text. It's sometimes I just don't have the knowledge to add the correct text to put here, and I don't really want to try to influence what's going on here. But you can see the verses 1, 2, 3, and when you see the format, this is a group. So um, could I had moved this up one, left Shechem, then many for Israel heard Jeroboam return from. No, this is too divided. This verse cannot go up, and so it needs to be said. Something needs to be added here. I forgot. I don't want to scroll, and you can see I have another blank area, but I'm pretty sure this is. There's another question I'll be still not got the answer to again. These are going to be my notes to go forward as well. I'm showing here, and you can see I'm still not happy with this prophet's name, and I did try to search for it. It just didn't come up yet. I think I need more pieces put together because when you see it's just a small piece, they could have stuck anybody's name in there. Um, I think this is pretty much it. Oh yeah, I still have a question whether it is this king that they're going to war at this time, because in the list of kings that I have made, and these are all based on our Creator's Hidden formats, and they were very accurate. And I want to show you here that this timeline here, now the 38 years being this wide, and then I got 35 years this wide. That isn't the point of it. The point is that these who start and these guys entered somewhere in this idea as his lifespan, and I put in this happened because a lot didn't happen here. I could say that this one guy here came right in here, or became king at this time in his life. Now, boy, I got off track. I forgot what I was talking about here. Yes, okay. Now I remember. And that is that down at the bottom here, I have the list of other kings here. These are the other kings, and I don't know what's going on with them, okay? Um, Philistines. I'm not sure why I have that word here. I know there's a purpose for it, but this this guy's name in this text is H-U-R, and so I'm using this from someplace else. But these are the kings, and you can see that the father, son, and then a new guy's name where they didn't pass it on to son, that it changed. So that's very interesting to know when the stories show you how a king's son passed down from generation to generation as kings. These stories group together, so I have that there, but it is that maybe other texts can go in between here. So that's why that is put together that way, and the spacing will be where I'm pretty sure other text will go. But I know that, okay, I'm still not sure of who this guy is and things like that, but I did put this verse in here because, like I said in the last video, a lot of times when you'll read it, this is what they had put in the text, or what we have today that's usable for a third verse. And again, just like I showed you the king, here's that other king. So, like I said, even though they're separated, which one is really who at what time? Um, and just extra notes for myself, and for future reference for people to understand where I'm getting the answers from in case they come to this one and not go through the first one to try to look for the long video. Why did I use these numbers? By the way, that king's list, of all the kings put together, there's like a 1 year, either too much or too less. I think I have it noted maybe 1 year that I think it should be added to the list. It's only 1 year that it's off, so that's pretty accurate. This I talked about in the video how I was going to update it and how they did this celebrating, and I just talked about how Solomon prayed before the people, and this um, vision of fire coming down from heaven. Well, our Creator healed everyone there at this time for this king here. So I'm saying nothing like this in Jerusalem since the days of Solomon. Okay. So I had David here, but it's Solomon is the correct answer. So I still want to recheck that for myself, make sure. I don't want to be, I know I had put David for some reason, but I just can't seem to remember why I did that. I moved these verses here down to here, and then you see how well these verses actually go together when they're going to be cleaned up later. That if you actually take them out and you read it that way, you're going to say, hey, that's right, these verses need to be placed down someplace. So what I did, this verse here, or these words here, I had placed right here before. So it's kind of like splitting it, and then those words went together. It's kind of unique. It's one of those few that I move two verses and it actually works out perfectly like this. Sometimes it doesn't have the great grouping as a paragraph. Sometimes it's kind of fudged to main it, but it's all similar text. And here's another king for Assyria. And Let's see here. I think I'm down to the end here, and I wanted to get to the text down at the bottom just to refresh what I went over on the last video. Okay, now this text, I know of another story, so I just wanted to note it here that this might be out. And I know when I put them together that this um, all might be out. It's better said someplace else. And these here verses as well are reading out of place, but the text, as you can see um, here, this is talking about, why do I have his name? It should have been his name. And that, I need to do that right now because that needs to be changed, and then that edit will go forward. See, I do scan through the text as I'm going through it myself to remind myself what's going on here. When I seen that, I thought, wait, that's the next king. He's the one that, when they start building the house again in Jerusalem, the guys on the other side of the river, they come over and start giving them problems, and they're informing the king of Persia. This guy is Daenerys, and he's the one from Babylon. It's still Babylon. This is the second kingdom of Babylon. And then the third kingdom is from Persia, and these Persias, the way I have the text from our Creator's Hidden Formats. So this text here, even though it's here, it really is reading way out of context. You need to go after Daniel is sent to return to start building the house, his house, and then you have to go to Ezra before you actually be able to get to use this text. So out of all these that I'm going to be mission together with Kings to get to the order, this piece is like 2 books completely out of order, out of the middle of nowhere. So I just wanted to show that as well. But the object is this is the video that I'm going to wrap it up, and this is the hidden formats that you can see that are really well put together. And if you read them, they're, like I said, one little paragraph sometimes hooks to the second paragraph, and then this paragraph will hook to this paragraph, and this paragraph here will hook to this. So you actually get to see that that's a hidden knowledge even above just revealing the format itself. This is the next stage of that, as to how these two make it, and then these two together make the story. That's how they actually wrote. It's very important. So when people say, where's the hidden format, and okay, yeah, you're proving that you can make these. But when I find them, and all of a sudden that when I'm grouping everything to the story and doing it, this just happens. And this is a great example how these are hooking together to explain the subject, how the subjects change. This is quite unique. And it's just proving extra that the hidden formats are here. And this is the proof. In fact, this is prophecy. So Jesus' prophecy is right before your eyes. All right. I think I'll end this video, knowing it was 24 minutes, but it's well worth it to watch.